Overnight, the U.S. reached a grim milestone. More than 3,000 now dead because of coronavirus. President Trump now focusing on the lives that could be saved.
We could save more than 1 million American lives. The more we dedicate ourselves today, the more quickly we will emerge on the other side of the crisis.
But with no plans for a national quarantine, the response from state to state has varied. On Monday, a coordinated message from the capital region, with the mayor of D.C. and the governors from Maryland and Virginia, each announcing their own stay-at-home orders.
We need to continue to work together to flatten the curve.
No Maryland resident should be leaving their home unless it is for an essential job or for an essential reason.
I'll say it again because I want everyone to hear me. Stay home.
Virginia Governor Ralph Northam's order extending to June 10th, beyond June 1st, when the president hopes the country is back up and running. Meanwhile, a number of private companies are stepping up to help with medical supply shortages, including Ford, which plans to produce 50,000 ventilators in the next 100 days.
It is a slightly different business, but at the end of the day, we're manufacturing and assembling products.
But even as the president announces big numbers and showed off a new rapid coronavirus test from Abbott, a lack of test kits remains a problem in other parts of the country. In a call with governors, first reported by the New York Times and confirmed by NBC News, Montana's governor says without kits from the CDC, his state was just 1 day away from lacking the ability to test. The president appearing to downplay that concern, saying he had not heard about testing in weeks and that the U.S. had tested more people than any other country. It all comes as Dr. Anthony Fauci says the coronavirus will likely be cyclical, with a potential return in the fall.
What we're going through now is going to be more than just lessons learned. It's going to be things that we have available to us that we did not have before.
Yeah, the hope is that by the fall we'll be further along and have improved testing. Maybe even antiviral treatments will be further along, and vaccine trials, if they are showing promise, they might be able to be used in an emergency situation. Again, we're talking about the fall. As for the current travel restrictions, which are set to expire in just a few weeks, the president is suggesting some of those could also be extended.